well, you can always see it here too. Something to left playing all night, so some Spotify or Stream Beats is getting a lot of views.
Good morning,
Good morning.
everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coffee, Croissants, Curling, and Curdia.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that right eventually.
Very
we have
good
the
coffee. And see, this is why we're actors. We pretend we drink coffee, but actually, we need a refill here.
No, I have actual
You
coffee.
have?
I don't. I'm a method actor. I need to get into it. I need to be the character. So, welcome everybody to another exciting morning of curling. Another day of curling going on here in beautiful Zemst, Belgium. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm John. This is the Napoleon to my Josephine, Tim.
I'm the Napoleon today. I'm going to be like this. I'm going to be very static, yeah.
Well, you're about the right height. If I stand fully up, then Josephine was taller than Napoleon.
And you have some Josephine boobs there.
Hey,
sorry for that.
It's not the late show. We gotta remember this is the breakfast show.
This is the breakfast show.
Time slot appropriate, please. So we have a good matchup. We got a double header going on today. It's a French duck double header. I think the French word for duck is canard.
Canard, yeah.
Yeah. So that's about as good a French as you're going to get from me. So we're going to see Viry play twice today. So they were here yesterday for a doubleheader, and they've got another doubleheader today. Going to be some good matchups, I think, today. Both the Brewers Ducks and the Grey Ducks are strong teams. Viry has proven with their performance yesterday that they really are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the A division. Really strong play yesterday. They defeated Desperate Housekeepers in the morning, and then came back in the afternoon and beat Luxembourg. So they are sitting atop the table with 4 points already. Could leave this afternoon with 8 points and a strong position sitting at the top of the A division table. So,
yeah, I talked to Team Viry-Châtillon. They're here to train, and they noticed that Team Viry-Châtillon, that Viry already won 2 times, and they might win 2 games today and kind of leads the table with 8 points. They're getting scared. They're really not comfortable. I think the team feels the pressure that this could be the team to beat this season, the second half of the season. So who knows? Maybe we have a surprise with Viry kind of climbing the ladders in Belgium curling.
Yeah, it could be one of those where like they're able to ride the wave because they're here. They're playing 4 matches. Half of their matches for this half of the season they're playing this weekend. And if they keep the momentum going, you know, it's something instead of having to play 1 match, wait a couple weeks, play another match. So they get 4 matches in a row. And if they're on a hot streak, then they can really put some pressure. And then they have to come back again in a few weeks to play the last 3 matches. But you know, then that could be the same thing. They could have a hot streak or a cold streak. So we won't know, but we're already kind of saying they're going to walk away with 8 points this weekend. But there's no guarantee.
Are they really? Are we? Yeah, maybe we're hyping the team.
Maybe a little bit. You know, Brewers Ducks played yesterday. Did they?
I don't think so. This is Grey Ducks
played yesterday. Sorry, excuse me.
With the 2 Ducks teams, it's going to be a Duck deja vu this weekend, and also this afternoon. Viry is playing the Brewers Ducks in the morning, and then the Grey Ducks in the afternoon. So we have 2 Duckers, 2 Ducks, 2 Canards against Viry.
I will just be saying Ducks today. There's no chance I'm going to get either team name right, even with the scoreboard in front of me.
And this weekend, they're both Ducks, but next weekend there's the Seniors Challenge, and this is where the kind of final battle is who are the real Ducks, who are the Black Ducks. They're going to compete for that kind of honorable title to be the men's champion and the kind of men's national team in the seniors. And that's actually the Black Ducks. So we have Grey Ducks, Black Ducks, and Brewers Ducks. But the Black Ducks, that's the most important title to win. That's next week.
Maybe I should just quack all weekend, you know?
Yeah. Well, we'll make some memes like Dagobert Duck with his nephews. We kind of have some nephews where we don't distinguish one nephew from another.
This is definitely a cultural thing you just pointed out, because in the States it's Donald Duck.
Yeah, but you have Donald Duck, but then you have that kind of uncle with the nephews.
Oh, that's Scrooge.
Oh, that's Scrooge.
Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, the kind of super rich guy.
Yes, Scrooge McDuck. Dagobert Duck.
Yeah, and Dutch is Dagobert Duck. I don't know what. I don't know the English
But hey,
words.
that's the that's the cultural differences. They translate names like the Smurfs in the States, or the Smurfs.
And the Schtroumpfs in French for our Viry fans. They know the Schtroumpfs.
Yep. So, you know,
but back to curling.
Back to curling.
Yeah.
So yesterday we had a doubleheader. We're going to recap yesterday's really quick. So we already mentioned that Viry defeated Housekeepers, which is not actually on the scoreboard because they were not broadcast.
No.
We'll get that next week. We'll start putting everything on next week. But it was a really strong match, a little back and forth. Viry was able to prevail. I think the final score was 6-4. It was a really tight match. Then we're looking at, Viry defeated Luxembourg yesterday 9-6. They had a couple of big ends early that they rode to victory. We were playing our own match yesterday at the same time, so I just happened to be glancing at the scoreboard just to kind of keep an eye on it. Maybe I should have paid a little bit more attention to our own match because we were defeated by Wipe My Ass.
Oh boy, yeah.
7-8. Came down to the last stone, and Wipe My Ass they played really well. They hit the shots they needed to and took advantage. So kudos to them. So we have
we've played worse than I thought we could. Every time I think we've hit the bottom, and then we discovered there's another bottom.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of work to do. We're gonna have to find our way. So actually, we've been talking a little bit too long doing all the introductions. They are already finished with their LSDs, shaking hands, getting ready to go. So they were wasting no time to.
We'll have a look
ready.
at the table standings later, or maybe during the intermission. Then. Yeah. So let's have a quick look. First, I'm gonna make sure I have the cameras in scene. All right.
There we go. We also noticed yesterday that the sound on the ice was not very loud, if at all. So we hopefully made some adjustments this morning to clear that up. Maybe you guys will hear a little bit more of the ice sounds and a little bit less of us. And hopefully it's a nice balance for you.
So who is Brewer's Ducks? They have the hammer, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that means I don't have to change anything in terms of stone settings and hammer settings. So first stone will be Celine kicking off this game. Brewer's Ducks versus Viry-Châtillon, Viry-Vernou.
Gonna see if my clicker works today, but I will be writing things down. So Celine opens us up. Looks like they want this one just into the house. And it's going to get all the way down to the button. Please get all the way to the button. Yes, all right. I like it when I'm right. Walter just coming back and saying, let's get this out of here.
Can you try to press that next button?
Yep.
Oh, and put it on this screen first.
You broke the...
No, I had it yesterday where suddenly it just track clicks. I don't know what causes this. Let's put it on. Oh, now
it did it?
Think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on Celine's second stone, yes.
Okay.
There we go. It wouldn't be a courteous stream without some kind of technical issues. If you're not breaking stuff, you're not trying.
And that's one way of putting it.
This one slides just by. It's going to give a early advantage to Brewer's Ducks. Let's see what Walter chooses to do here. He's going for the split the house. Going to split the house here, so he's going to have Steph draw it back out towards the wall. Sweepers are on it early. Walter calls him out, just wants to make sure it just gets in the house, trying to get it to fall. Look, you see it right as soon as it crosses that center line, it just starts to fall. It's going to move quite a lot. Well-placed stone. A little bit deep, but I think that's still going to be a difficult double, so I don't think Viry is going to try to do anything with that. Gonna fall right on the nose, takes it out nicely. does leave it in a position where if Walter wanted to, he could try to roll it back over on front of their red, but I think they're going to, I'm going to guess and say they're going to just try for the nose hit here. Keep the house split. Going second for the Ducks, we have Mark. He's a native Scottish person, but he lives here in Belgium. Curls in the Scottish competitions as well. Ulysses catches it. Oops, and rolls over. Unfortunately, knocks their own out, but does stay in the house. But that's, they really wanted that one to stay. A little bit of a over curl. So Viry is just going to go straight at it. Maybe try to roll this one on towards the button.
Immediate goal for the sweep there. So is it because of the line or the weight? I think the line.
It's the line. That one looks a bit inside. They're going to have to work hard to hold this one. But they do. Unfortunately, though, the shooter is gone. Yeah. Leaves an open house now. So
Stefan a bit disappointed with this one.
Yep, he really wanted that one to stay. So now we start over. But that just gives the Ducks an extra stone, essentially. They have 5 stones versus the 4 from Viry, so let's see what they can do in this first end. Oh, you see Walter get out there for it. They're going to try to sweep this one into the house. Is it going to come up enough? Just short. Just comes up a little short there. Throwing third for Viry, we have Jeremy. He's the only one on the team not named, I'm going to probably butcher their last name, Verino.
Yeah, Vergniaud.
Vergniaud.
Was a very good pronunciation for an American.
Never taken a French lesson in my entire life. My French is limited to what I have learned off of menus and in restaurants. So, and a television show back when I was a kid. There was an absurd saying or expression. There was a scene where this kid's in a French class and this beautiful girl walks in, and all he wants to speak to her in French, and all he can say is "Voulez-vous de beurre?"
Oh, wasn't that Dexter's Laboratory?
No.
Okay.
That was
omelette.
Yeah, omelette du fromage.
Yeah. And apparently that's wrong.
Yes.
Correcting it's omelette au fromage.
Yes. So this was a show called The Wonder Years, and yeah, it was comedy on TV in the 80s in the States, 80s and 90s, I think. And yeah, so voulez-vous de beurre is my
the beurre.
The beurre. See, I don't even say it right, but neither did the kid, so that's why I'm imitating him. But it's intentional because it means nothing, or it means, do you want some butter? You've been rarely asked that. Or do you want the butter? All right, so back to the curling. Viry putting this one in the house does not quite get behind that guard, so Walter is just going to try to take this out, maybe hopefully roll their own underneath that red guard there.
It's a bit wobbly on the slide, but still launched good. I don't hear any call for the line.
No. Walter trying to move it over with his head, so it's not going to fall enough. But
does a trick, but maybe they want the shooter to stay, but well.
No,
main objective is okay, right? Get it out.
They have the advantage with that guard there, but they need to use it. Oh, excuse me. mild hiccups here. All right, so here we have the first stone of Viry skip Stefan today. They're going to definitely try to use that guard to their advantage, get around it, get behind it, and try to steal something here. Up. Gotta look good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I think it's important because sometimes you have players who don't really pay attention to those details. Yeah. Then we have to make sure we switch scenes.
We have the wardrobe malfunctions. Yes. This one looks a bit wide. Is it going to fall? It's starting to go, but it just doesn't move as much as the stones going the other way.
Still,
yeah,
and it's also deeper than they wanted to have it.
Yep. Yeah, I think they were a bit outside of the broom on that one, so with the speed and being outside. So that gives the ducks an opportunity to use it as a backing if it's a little bit heavy, freeze up against it. But it is behind the tee line, significantly behind the tee line, so that could end up leaving, that would leave Viry an opportunity to freeze up on top of that. But I also think that that would leave yet another opportunity for the ducks to freeze on top of that, so, or to draw on top of that. So let's see what Walter decides with his first stone of the day.
Always a very nice upright sliding from Walter.
Yep.
Gentleman sliding.
Supers think it's going to be a little bit short, so they're trying to sweep to make sure it gets down there. It's going to go past the tee, and it's going to fall and tap against the yellow. Just a little bit hard. Now it leaves it some separation, so it's going to allow Viry to try to play that one away and hopefully hold the shooter in the house. Give them a chance to steal two, or even at least force the ducks to one.
Yeah, so I talked to Brewer's Ducks. I asked them, what's your ambition for the second half? Do you want to do equally good as last season? They ended up second. And Jan said, well, basically, we want to have fun on the ice. We're not highly competitive. It doesn't matter if we're second or second to last. We just don't want to relegate to the B division. And their main objective is just next week winning that seniors champion, because that's the kind of goal they have for the season, to become the national team and then compete in international tournaments.
Oh, is this one to get down there? They're sweeping it hard. They want to get this one down there in front of that inside the red.
Oh,
good job.
Perfect stone. It's not behind the guard, but on the other hand they have the backing. It's in front of the tee line. But it's easy to take out.
Stone, yeah, that's we're looking at that. So this is where Walter's going to want to try to hold the shooter. You know, first step is to get rid of that yellow. Second step is to hold the shooter inside of the yellow sitting at the back of the house.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see something.
They could score 2 points here if they have a good takeout, not too hard.
I think we're going to see something along the lines of hack weight, maybe. Yeah, something along the lines of hack weight. Not too hard. I want to make sure the shooter stays.
Yeah,
they definitely got to make sure though that the
shooter has to be in the whites, yeah, because otherwise that second Yellowstone sitting in the back will be second shots.
They definitely don't want a nose hit here.
No.
Over curl, under curl is okay. Nose hit is not. They're trying to hold this one to the outside.
What a sweeping effort.
Really putting their brooms down. Steph, get out of the way.
Sure, Steve, in the wide
very
at 2
nice.
points. Awesome stone.
Very nice stone there. All right, I'm gonna write that one down.
Yeah, that was not the easiest stone.
No. Very, very well played. What do we call that? A takeout or a hit and roll? I think we'll call that a takeout.
Yeah,
Doesn't
because
really
they didn't
matter.
need to roll behind something, or it didn't really matter where the stone rolled to, as long as it was in the white and remained second shots.
Very, very nice stone. Excellent end from Brewer's Ducks there. Take the early lead with 2. All right. We're just calling out for the classic center guard. That's settling into the hack. He doesn't waste any time. He gets down into that crouch position and just goes. He doesn't get extra settled or anything like that. Just knows his thing. It looks a bit wide though. That is going to... Ooh, there goes the lights again. So now that we've got the audio issues sorted, we're getting video issues, so... Alright, that one just goes into the house. Viry opting to leave it alone. They're going to just put the center guard up, or the corner guards up, try to build something themselves, so... Line looks to be okay, but I think it's a little bit heavy. That's gonna fall. That's gonna come into the house, I think. Not too deep though. There. Okay, I'm wrong. That's. I guess just in front of the T line is maybe a little deep. Alright, Walter asking Steph which direction he wants to come from. They're going to take this out and use this opportunity to try to split the house early. Force Viry to probably chase instead of setting up their own end.
Released inside there with the push.
Yeah, that one's falling. Yeah, that's gonna just...
By the way, I think I know why we had light issues. I'm gonna mention that later. But this is pushed way inside and therefore flies through.
Yep.
I think the light issue causes when I zoom out, I start to have the lights into frame, and then they interfere with the light balance.
Yeah.
Because...
Yep. Alright, we'll have to figure something out there. Maybe we just turn off the lights.
Yep.
There's a country music song, I can't remember it, but I know there's a bit of it starts out, it says, let's turn the lights down low. And that's probably the... With my voice today, after being so rough yesterday, it's probably as close as I can get to being as deep as that country singer. Ooh, they want the guard, but it's a bit high. They do get it over there. Is it gonna fall enough?
Not enough. It's still open. It's a guard, but it didn't catch the position they wanted to.
It's only a little bit off, and it's not likely they're gonna... I mean, well, that's... I don't want to say that. It's a little bit harder to come from the outside with the takeout than an insert. So maybe... Yeah, they're gonna use that guard to their advantage, try to draw this in, freeze it up against that... freeze it up against that yellow in there. A little bit outside, so that's not going to fall enough. Has pretty good weight, but just not the right line. So that's stops there on the button, but is wide open. I see Stefan from Viry indicating that we want this one out of there and roll off to the side if they can. They want to split the house themselves. Sweepers are on this one. They want to hold this one to that right side of the stone so it rolls. A little bit of extra sweeping to get it out there. Gets it away from that red one, so they can maybe try to attack that one later. I almost think, though, they would have wanted that one to sit on top of the red. Use it as backing. But we're going to see... it got away a little bit too far, so Walter's going to try to get rid of it.
Normal weight takeouts. I hear more sound from you guys than I did yesterday, so I hope that we have a little bit better audio. You can overhear some of the skips.
Well, for us, it's partially because we turned monitoring back on.
Yeah.
I forgot I had turned it off during testing for something else, and yeah. Oh, they don't want this one to hit too far on the outside because it's going to jam against their red. Ooh. Not what they wanted there. Gift to Viry. Yeah, that's why you saw Walter having him stop sweep it. He was hoping that it would fall enough that they would get out of... it would fall too far. Earthquake.
Yeah. Actually going to make a little note, especially for tournaments coming up, where there will be more players going in and out.
Alright. This one is a bit heavy, so it's going to clear the guard, but it is going to go a little bit deep and probably through the house.
Yes.
Walter with a little bit of sweeping just to make sure.
Yeah.
Jan just holding that slide all the way down to watch the stone.
Yeah.
Nicely played, and holds the shooter. Gets it past the gets the slide past the hog line. Nicely done.
Yeah, he can slide all the way into the other house area.
A little bit of showboating.
Yeah. He knows he's on stream, and it's a big difference between some players that stand up in their own house, they just kind of launch stone by putting enough weight to it.
Sweeping it, but now they're off, and then they're back on. That's gonna hit. Yeah, they wanted that one to roll out a little bit further, just to kind of put some more space there, make it a little less attractive to go at, but we see Walter calling for a takeout, wants it to sit, just creep over behind that guard. Ooh. A little wobbly from Jan there. And a lot outside. All right, a break for Viry here. They've got 2. They could start to cover things up. So we're going to see a draw. Oops, this is not Jan. We definitely have to get that.
I have to do so many stuff that sometimes I forget to click next. So. This is Jeremy.
It's going to just sneak around the guard. Is it going to get down deep enough? Gets into the house deep enough and a little bit open. Could potentially be a double there with the right weight, but I'm not entirely sure. Not sure if we're going to see Walter do that. I'm starting to think that maybe we should put the scoreboard at the top. It's going to cover people's faces, but it won't cover the house.
I put this angle a little bit higher, but let's take it offline. But
yeah. We're going to find out here if it was the ice not falling way out that wide or if Jan's stone was just really that wide. Telling him to stop. I want this one to fall. Alright, gets rid of the yellow. Sits out in the open though, so Viry will just be able to try to do that same thing, take it out. Stick the shooter, sit 3. We're not calling for anything just yet. There goes the sweep.
Is he going to kiss?
Oh, just taps it. Not sure why he swept it. Maybe he wanted to sweep it to keep it from touching it at all, so it wouldn't put it in a more that position a little more protected. And so Walter looking to hit and roll this one. They want to try to roll this one all the way underneath. Well, I think what he was pointing at, is I'm gonna guess, is that either it rolls over and stays in the red on the wall side of the center line, or it goes all the way over behind all the guards there. Outside, calling him off just to make sure it doesn't. All right, gets it out, and I believe it is lying second. Yes. Yes. It's a lying 2, but an open draw to the center for 1 for Viry. It's gonna try to hit and roll. There's no way they can score 2. So for me, I think I would do the draw. But they're looking for the takeout. They hit and roll. So I guess if they don't get the roll, this will give them, you know, at least only give the Ducks 1. This one's not going to fall enough, but it will get rid of the red, so 1 for the Ducks.
A steal?
Steal of 1. Good end from the Ducks there. Put a lot of pressure on Viry. A couple of missed stones from Viry, which ended up hurting them. They looked really like to be controlling that end early on, but that missed takeout that nudged the red underneath the guards made it push the tide back to the Ducks' favor, and they took advantage. All right, so as we enter the third end, Ducks are leading 3-0 over Viry. Mark has gotten a little bit chilly, so he's put his jacket on.
Yeah. I like his shoes. They seem very kind of classical.
Yeah,
they have
like
so
kind
much
of
style.
Saddle Oxfords, yep.
Yeah.
Looks like he took some dress shoes and made them, but those are actual curling shoes.
A lot of curling shoes and curling gear, they have a very stylish, almost tuxedo kind of style.
I am not sure I would go that far.
Yeah, no, not that far. But they have some kind of gentlemen's.
Yeah, it's
they're not very sporty.
yeah, that's very classic black
Yeah.
shoes, black pants. Unlike me, who had a shoe malfunction yesterday, so I was playing with 1 blue shoe and 1 red shoe.
Yeah. Yeah. Better not mention that to the ice maker because
It was the shoes, but it's the shoemaker, and well, that's me, so it's my fault. I have some repairs to do. But I did an initiation after our match, and I got a lot of compliments on the different colored shoes. But we had somebody in the initiation who had chrome shoes.
Rome shoes.
Yes, like shiny silver shoes. And I asked him where he got them, and he couldn't remember because I wanted them. They would have been perfect too. Nice and flat, really shiny. I'd have just put a little clear coat on the toe and would be awesome. Oh, this one's gonna over curl.
It's not a guard. It's going to be if it's side by side. Well, that leaves it double.
No, it's a double. Yeah, they don't want that. Yeah.
Well, they are happy with it. They room out. So
Well, how often do you raise a broom or a hand to the shooter even though they messed up the stone?
well, I do it.
It's
I
not
don't do it if they mess up the stone. You do it if you're happy with the stone. If it's a good result, right?
It's okay. It does leave a double there.
But you can use it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It is putting a little bit of pressure on Celine to throw a takeout or something, which is a lot of leads don't do. So this could pay off for them.
Right. They need to sweep just to make sure it doesn't fall too hard.
It's gonna fall over the center. It'll catch that one deep in the house. And I think that's just the original plan, was just to do that, because then it will...
Yeah,
It lies shot. It's a little bit underneath, so not a bad result there.
no, I think that's actually a good result.
Walter thinks this might be a little bit inside. Oh, this is going to catch the red, I think. But off to the side so it doesn't move the yellow. So tap the yellow a slight bit deeper in the house. Got rid of their stone in the house, and the shooter falls to the side and stays out of the house. How many times can I say house? House, house, house.
Deciding between two options here. Do you want to draw behind that left red stone? Do you want to promote the yellow stone? Do you want to get behind the yellow stone? Do you want to hit and roll? So many opportunities here.
Yeah, it looks like they want to move things around, so they're going to try to hit and roll off their own stone. Keep it in the house, though. So just a backline wait. Just try to knock that stone in the house to the side and let the shooter roll to the other side and stay in. So they're sweeping this one, kind of hold it to the side. It's starting to fall a lot right there at the end, though. Overcurls just a touch, but does tap that one back further into the house. Walter wants to lay, but Mark wants to take it out. It is set up in a really nice double position. Just need to run that front one straight back.
So he took off his jacket again.
Yep.
So maybe he wears it in between where he has to sweep, and then takes it off when he has to throw because it's in the way.
Could be. We'll have to keep a track of that. Sweeping this one. Want it on the nose. Want it on the nose.
This is good. This could be double. No.
No, just undercurled. Probably should have left it sweeping. Should have stopped sweeping. But they do get rid of one. It was there. He wanted it, and it just a tight couple of centimeters off. To draw this one into the side of the house. Looks like it's going to come up a little bit light.
This one going over. Want to help?
Celine immediately gives up.
Yeah. Is it going to get in the house? No.
Not quite. Just stays in front. You see the close-up picture. Walter looking like they want to just try to lay it down there. Maybe split the house on their own. That one just took a massive turn right there. It's gonna tap the red one all the way through the house, unfortunately. But the shooter did roll over a little to the side, so it's gonna expose that one on the button. Stefano's going to have to decide what to do.
And I think that's a good option. You can even use the stone that's laying shelves to kind of tap and roll behind the red one and improve your situation.
And even if it doesn't curl in behind the red, it's going to act as a guard for the yellow one there. So if it overlaps that red a little bit, that will be really nice. This one I think is going to fall just a little bit too much. It's going to tap the red. So puts a guard out in front of the house for the yellow, but it is offset a little bit. So do they do try another double there?
Changing his mind, and he wants to get it in between. Maybe they go for just damage control. Say, well, you can have one, and we'll take the hammer.
Possibility.
Not that bad. They're leading 3-1, so if they just give him one point, and then take the hammer, then Viry basically loses an opportunity to score points on their hammer ends.
Yeah. Oh, this one's gonna curl a little bit too much. Well, this was the other option they talked about, was the tap and roll over the reds, but it gets rid of that guard in front of the yellows, so I think Viry is going to have to do something about that. Oh, they're going to try to play behind those reds. Okay, yeah, if this one comes up short, then it will be in a good position. Stefan shouting his encouragement. Keep going, keep going. Alright, so over curled a little bit. They wanted it on that line, but they needed it a little bit deeper. It's unfortunate, but it over curls, so the center stone's still sitting half exposed.
If it covers a little piece of the rock, it covers a piece of the hole. They do a triangulation.
Yeah, you can hear the Scottish accent.
Yeah, hearing Mark with this really technical terms, triangulation and...
What is triangulation?
It's where you take 3 points of a distance and then you're able to calculate the center point.
Yeah.
And things like that. That's how GPS works, actually.
Yeah.
Who would have thought you turn into a curling stream and you get some science knowledge? And I'm putting knowledge in quotes.
So also, this game is being timed. We have Dirk sitting at the booth testing the timer for the upcoming seniors challenge. So we could have some side on thinking time in that statistics at some point in the game.
Want this one to... Yeah, taps that yellow back. But now the yellow is guarded. And the red is sitting out in the open. So this is going to give Viry an opportunity to see Jeremy, the vice skip, talking about the tap and roll, get underneath the guards there. interesting. Looks like they're gonna go inside out on this shot. I guess the idea is if it over curls, it could still roll over underneath that yellow guard there and leave the middle open for the ducks, and hoping that they don't draw to protect it or draw it correctly. Purely speculation, mind you. Good pace on it. Want to make sure the last second they're going to sweep this. Oh, look at that rollover. Great shot.
This is shot of the match so far.
I am writing it down. I'm clicking my
personal
buttons.
opinion, but
yeah,
still.
That's a great shot there. I'm writing it down. I'm clicking my button.
Stefan very happy with the stone, and I can only say it's absolutely true. You should be happy. Sitting 2 now, behind a wall of guards. This is what they need to score some points and get back into this game. Use their hammer in their advantage. But don't forget, there's still the Walter element in this game.
Yeah.
Walter also knows how to throw good stones.
And the thing is, there's room to draw.
Yeah.
That's the thing. There's the guards, but like everything's set up on the side of the house, on the side of the button, so there's still room to draw onto the button there. They just need to make sure they get this right weight, the weight correct. Might be a little light. Sweepers are jumping on it hard.
I think I overheard them say 3 or something like that.
Yeah, that's gonna be light. They want this to over curl. They want this to keep curling. Leave that open so there's an opportunity.
Yeah, make sure they don't close the gap for themselves.
Right.
And then if you really, well, now they know what the Brewers want to do. So they say, well, if they want to draw, then we will just kind of close that option for them. That's their preferred option. Or are they looking for
I don't know. They were looking at, well, maybe he thought that if it's, maybe he's indicating with this broom, if it's too heavy, it could tap off that yellow and then roll over. But yeah, I think if it's deep, it will draw in behind the guards, so that could also be okay. They pretty much just need to have this one in the blue. I think would be an ideal position that would give them, so even a takeout.
Hey, by the way, why would they want to close, this is the last stone of the game, right?
Okay, so they just need to get this in there.
3 points.
This is just a draw for 3.
I know.
You know, that's. I'm not looking at the scoreboard. I'm trying to watch the game. Leave me alone.
I know. Brian, are you watching the game as a fan or as a commentator?
Yes.
Both. Fan of curling.
I want to make sure this one gets into the white.
This has to be in.
Sweeping it just to make sure it gets there. Looks pretty good.
This is going to be good. That's 3
Very
points.
nice stone.
Very good.
3
1, 2,
for
3.
Viry. Excellent end from Viry to get back in it. Ties it up at 3 heading into the 4th. Very well played there. So we have the 1 minute timer going between the ends. Dirk is testing that out. I don't know if it's a mandatory 1 minute or if it's a maximum of 1 minute. We'll see. I think it's very likely to be a maximum of 1 minute. You should be ready to go before the thinking time starts. Sweeping this one, maybe it's a little bit light, I feel. Getting off it now. Back on it. There we go. There's the...
Yeah, it's because of the lights they're in picture, and then suddenly it interferes with the light balance.
All right, got this one onto the center line, so it is part of the no tick rule. I will use a no tick for this one.
Yep.
I will probably change it to tick rule the next time. Who knows?
Tick rule is just much easier to
It's
say.
easier to say, yes.
Why would you have a negative name for rule?
Well, it's telling you what to do. You cannot tick. That's exactly what the rule is, so. But you could also argue it's a rule about ticking.
Yeah.
Even if it says no, it's still... Want to get this one to curl over. Gets onto the button right on the T line, but does not fall in behind that guard. I think Viry is going to take advantage. Going to try to draw up something in front of, draw something onto the front of it.
So good morning for people tapping into the stream so far. We are in the fourth end of this game. Tie so far. Teams evenly matched, but that's also because Viry managed to score 3 points in their last ends. Viry won their 2 games yesterday, so they might be a little bit in favor to win this one, but on the other hand, Brewers Ducks are not the baddest team. And this is a very good draw here.
This is going to be, is it going to be
Lots
too
of stuff.
heavy? It does get behind the guard and is just... Ooh, that's tight.
That's a very good
That's
stone.
really tight. Very good stone there. I'm going to write that one down.
I think it's laying shot, so this is absolutely an opportunity to be shot of the match. It seems shot to me. So let's have a second look. So it seems like red is just more in the red than the yellow stone is in the red, but that could also be because
It's
of the
also
angle.
the angle. Yeah, we're not directly over the top, so that is very tough.
Very tough to see, I think.
We want this one to fall. Asking it to curl. Well, we're gonna know for sure now.
Yeah, yellow was because yellow was touching the center line and red was having a gap with their center line, so that means yellow was closer to the center. But now we know for sure. We don't need to triangulate that stone anymore now.
So that was a unfortunate stone there for the Ducks. It's going to leave an opportunity to hit and roll, take the red one out, roll over on top of the yellow, but the yellow one is also now got backing behind it. So, although there is a significant gap there, so it could easily be.
But a good hit and roll could kind of line up 3 yellow stones, and that should be a very strong opener for the Sens.
Yes.
And that could set them up for a steal there. And if they steal,
Want to sweep this one. They want this one to fall. Get over onto that
This looks
side.
good.
That looks really good.
it's rolling a bit too far, but it's still a good stone, right?
Very good stone. I'll write it down. I think the other one was a little bit better, but you know, we still want to show nice stones later. And that was, who is that? Laurent. Might be a little bit outside, hoping it falls.
It's wide. It's
Just gonna go wide.
yeah, I think Mark struggled a bit with the stones in the last stint, and also so far. This one wasn't the best, so.
Yeah, it seems like the Ducks have had trouble coming from that outside on those takeouts. It's or on that side of the ice.
Yeah.
It was also in the second end. They missed a couple out there too. I want to put this one as a guard. Might carry a little bit deep, but
It's too deep for a guard. They just want to throw something in and have a kind of cluttered pack of stones.
well, that will help them a little bit, but it also does leave that double opportunity away. Yeah, I was looking at Stefan's where he placed the broom, and he was asking for something up high as a guard, so that one just carried a little bit deep. So, giving Mark another opportunity to double these out.
Wants the harder one.
He held so still there, I was afraid that the camera suddenly...
Yeah. Oh, this is... did you see the release there?
Yep, that is the old school release. He wants some oomph on this one.
Yeah.
The sweepers are running to keep up with that one.
That works.
Very nice stone there. Clears them out. I'm gonna tap that one. 108. I need like a bigger scoreboard on a timer on here so I could see. Make me find the.
Oh yeah, this is a thinking time. I was gonna say there's a.
No, but it's here like where the recording time, so I can.
Did you have a clicker to do?
I did that too, but I don't trust it yet. So I haven't run through a test here, so I want to make sure that I don't have anything lost. So I do click it and then I do write it down.
Looks white has to fall. Starting to fall, but not enough if they want to hit and roll. Yeah, this one will stab the one back, and it's more or less the same situation.
Yeah, it kind of opens things. I wouldn't say opens things up, but it does make it a little bit easier for the Ducks to get something onto the button. They can play a hit and roll out.
Backline weight, trying to hit and roll on the Yellowstone could be a good option. Just take out that Yellowstone.
Mark indicating it's outside.
Yeah, I remember he had a similar takeout stone, throwing it outside in the second end. At least the Brewers Ducks. I wasn't sure if it was Jan.
Yes, it was. Stefan thinking about what are his options, what can he do?
All right, so how are we doing with thinking time so far, John? I had the impression that we have some thinking time consumed
They're
game.
at 21-20 seconds. After 2 ends. Oh, okay, so they didn't do the full. So we're trying it after it started at the second end, so. Okay. Yeah, so they've used 8 minutes in the last 2 ends, and they haven't
ended the end.
they
Well,
haven't finished the end yet, so.
I think with an average 4 minutes per end, that should be okay as an average, but not in the kind of first ends.
No, Dirk is saying they're taking too long.
Okay.
This one's going to come up a little bit short,
Yeah, it's
but
got
it's
behind the
gonna be
guards. So should they sweep to get it deeper, or should they want to guard it? Well, I think it's also a good guard there. Kind of slightly behind the guard would have been.
I think it's still
better,
possible to get around it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, slightly heavy on the draw, and it will tap off that yellow. As long as they get this one around the guard, it should still be okay. Now, they need to sweep this one. They need it to curl, but they also need to make sure it has enough weight to get down there. Starting to go. Is it going to have enough? Oh,
This is an absolute good stone here.
very nice stone. Just
It's shot. It uses the backing of the yellow stone.
see, that was young.
Very nice one there.
Yeah, very good position. They would have liked that one a little bit heavier, just to tap and roll and move that yellow one a little bit further to maybe even bring that second red one into scoring. But it's a good position for them. Even a tap in from Viry is going to leave that red one in second shot. So.
So yeah, thinking time. Tick, tick, tick.
Yep.
But I think they made a decision right now. Sweepers are waiting for Stefan to come on over and throw his stones.
This will be interesting to see if my thinking timer on this is working right now, the one I have programmed here. It's unofficial, of course,
That's a
because
good
it's
test.
dependent on this, so we'll see. We're getting close to that minute. Doesn't show on the screen till a minute has passed.
So when is the minute mark?
Well, it's already past 1 minute, so I'm thinking mine is not working.
Has to fall. Weight looks fine. Is it going to fall? No, it's also a bit too deep.
Ooh, it just stays on the back of the button, so it is shot, but that's going to give the duck something to draw with backing.
I'm surprised that didn't finish. That didn't go long. The kid was back on teammates. They weren't sweeping it. I mean, it didn't look like it was
Okay, Walter's ready to throw his stone.
Yeah, I think we're going to see them just do that same thing. It's just draw it right on top of it. Use it as backing. It's behind the T line.
You can see Stefan really hoping. I hope he does manage to get this shot, because if he does, and then it's going to be hard for them.
Even,
And that's his specialty, right? Doing those kind of draw shots.
yep, he's very good at it. And even this can be a little bit heavy because if it's heavy, it'll tap that yellow one back. Needs to fall. Ooh, might be too heavy.
Looks heavy and it's not falling enough, so it'll tap the Yellowstone, and then what will happen now? What is the situation? Red is sitting 2, but it's open. So are they going to use that redstone to hit and roll? Yes, I think that's what Jeremy is calling.
Yeah, I think that's what Viry needs to do. They don't have the hammer, so they need to get something in a spot that's protected behind those guards. Now, if we have a quick look at the overhead, yeah, we can see that they need to tap the red one back, roll the yellow one over, and would it leave anything? Well, if they do it just right, they can leave that yellow one sitting right on the pin, and that would basically mean it would be well guarded. It would be difficult for the ducks to do anything with it.
So what's the call they are going for now?
They're gonna try to draw this one in, or maybe even hit and roll. It's maybe they can get over to. I don't
think
know.
they were trying to hit and roll. I mean, looking at where the broom sits.
Yeah, yeah, that's the speed. So they're definitely trying to. It's gotta get around those guards.
Passes the guards,
Gets it
taps the
by.
reds, gets in. Ooh, rolls too deep and it's not shot. I think. I don't.
That's
think
close. It's so hard to say.
You
That
see the
is
players
so
like,
hard to say.
I think red shots. And also red slightly better because it's in front of the T line, but I would say red is shot right here. But it's so hard to see.
They're looking close. That was actually a good play, even if they're not, because it's, well, if they are shot, then it means that the ducks can only go for one. But I think yellow is sitting shot. A little bit. Yep, I think the yellow is shot there.
All right, yeah. So can they reach their red one to kind of slightly tap it in deeper, but that would give them 1 point, or just draw in over the left side? They have basically two I think the draw option is the easy, or the kind of straightforward option, right?
Yeah,
But if it's too hard,
that's too hard. It's a steal of one.
yeah.
So
And if you tap the red one, it could always jam against that shot Yellowstone and still score the points.
Yep.
But they're going for a draw option because, like I said, that's Walter's specialty, and he did a pretty good draw stone before. So if he feels good and he has that muscle memory still locked in his legs and arms. Alright, doing the ceremony of spinning the stone. And now here it comes. Upright sliding, full concentration. Immediate sweeping. Scared of the line.
Want to make sure of the weight. Yeah, it's slowing down quite a lot. Is that going to get there?
It's wide enough, but this is going to have the weight to get into the center.
Just needs to get on the button.
It's too slow.
Oh,
Unfortunate. Unfortunate. And now, do they have to measure, or will they agree upon which stone is sitting better? They're still not sure. Maybe that's why that little tap over the red side. Yeah. I think they're gonna measure. They're taking out the stones and they're leaving the.
I think they're gonna measure just to be sure.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's yellow. I think there's more of the red sitting outside the circle, but it's.
So if they can tell, then we absolutely can tell, right?
Maybe they just want to play with the curling. In that end. Oh. Oh, jeez.
How much thinking time did we consume so far?
They've used 10 and a half, let's see, the Ducks have used 10 and a half minutes through two ends, and the Viry has used 11 and a half, or 11:50. So
trying to see if I can find a picture of the
just the white balance is just a little bit off.
Yeah.
Hard to see it.
If they slam the door, then
Oh, it's yellow.
It's yellow.
It is
Confirmed.
yellow.
Yellow mellow. So that's 1 for yellow. And
I think so.
yeah, but it didn't touch the red one, so
Yeah.
that should be yellow. Unless they're not sure. They're still not sure.
Steph doesn't look like he's convinced.
Do they want to remeasure then? Yeah, he's not convinced. Are they going to remeasure? See, he's using now his glove to compare. I think they're calling for a remeasure, and Dirk is going to the ice. And
No,
it's yellow.
No. They waved Dirk off. They went with yellow.
all right.
I don't know how Steph could look at that and say, "Oh, it's close. It's
You have a measuring device, so why
Yeah.
would you need a glove if you have your measuring device? But still,
All right, so we're
yellow, and we're
take-
going to have a small break. We can go to the booth and then have a look at the table so far. But yeah, nice comeback from Viry so far.
Yeah, really brought it back. Oops, let me stand up. There we go.
Stand up there, yeah. No warning, just go to the booth without any.
Well, you just said, "Hey, let's go to the booth," so
Yeah,
I clicked
yeah.
the booth button.
All right. So, kind of small recap. I had some deja vus from yesterday's game where Luxembourg started strong against the Grey Ducks, but you could feel that the Grey Ducks, they had to warm up and they kind of grew into the game and then took over and ended up winning the game. And I kind of have the same vibe for this game where the Brewers Ducks started good. The Viry is looking for their skill level, but they grow in the game and now they're slightly taking over, and maybe they will just keep that momentum going on and then end up winning this game. Could it be one of those games, or are the Brewers Ducks gonna fight back and take back control?
We'll see. I think it's been both teams have been playing well. They've had their mistakes. They've missed some shots, but they've been playing pretty well, putting pressure on each other when they can, taking advantage of it. So we're seeing, that was a steal of one. It was a great shot from Stefan from Viry to play that hard takeout. I thought he would have been better off doing a tap and roll, but really it paid off for them to get that one snuck in there and just underneath the red.
Yeah, that won them descent basically. I think you noted that I wrote that down as a shot of the match, but that was a very decisive stone that hit and roll.
Yeah, it puts them in the lead. It gives them a 1 point lead going into the break. So still a lot of curling left. 4 ends. There's not there's plenty of points out there. We're gonna see back and forth. We've seen both teams score 2s and 3s, but we've also seen steals of 1s. So who knows what we're gonna see? So far, it's been pretty good curling action. Pretty excited about the rest of the match. It's been a lot of pretty good play.
Yeah.
All right, intermission is over.
Intermission is over. They're back going to the ice, so we're going to have a peek at the ice. And that's...
There we go.
There we go. So, alright, are they going to mentally recover from this? Because also kind of losing an end with the measuring and the doubting, that's also something that could stick in the back of your heads.
Yeah, you have to look at that and go, they had the opportunity to draw and take that point, take that end, and just came up short. And you hate to do that as a skip, as the fourth, throwing that last stone. You want to give it an opportunity, and to come up short just feels not great. I speak from experience. I do that often.
Right. Last Viry person coming back from the intermission, from the canteen, zipping up the jackets, preparing.
No, there's still 2
There's
missing.
still 2?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy and Stefan are still coming. There they are.
Jeremy putting on his measure glove.
There they are, back in. Earthquake, but we didn't see it.
We didn't see it. Deliberately took the other camera angle. Walter patiently waiting to get this game started. And then...
well, the game is started, to get the end started.
to get the game... Yeah, the end started. That's true. Alright. Opening up with center guard, I suppose.
Yes.
centre défendeur. I don't know if that's the correct French word for a center guard.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. This one is going to overcurl just a little bit. Stays in between the tram tracks and is outside of the house, so Walter gonna go straight in behind it. I think we're gonna see maybe we'll see a little bit more aggression in this more aggressive play in this second half of the match.
Second half of the match of the second half of the season of Belgium curling, right here.
Let's see, it's the second half of the match of the second day of the second half of the season. Yes.
Yeah. Well, and it's still the first game of the day, so
yeah.
we have.
I didn't mention that on purpose.
Yeah, I noticed. I was thinking
looking
like,
for all the seconds. Yeah. All right, that one comes up a little bit short, taps the yellow one into the house. So now we're gonna see another center guard here. Nice smooth delivery there from Celine. Jeremy started sweeping it immediately, but Stefan calling him off. It is a bit on the outside. Now it's going to start falling. Now the sweepers are going to get on this one, try to get that one over to the center line.
has to touch the center line to be able to apply for a tick through, or?
Yes, it has to be touching that center line, and that one comes up just a few centimeters short. Have you guys noticed I'm using the metric instead of saying inches? This is really tough for me.
Oh yeah, true.
Extremely difficult to unwire 49 years of things in your brain. And this one's gonna fall a bit too much. Trying to get it around it. It's gonna tap that guard. Pushes their yellow one into the pushes the red one into the house. A little bit outside, but opens things up a little bit. Walter not happy with it, kind of shaking his head.
Yeah, true. They can use it to hit and roll and get another yellow stone in a house. Just take it out, of course, but if they roll to the center, that's even better.
Immediate call for sweep.
Encore.
Again.
Touching lights. They will roll out of the house. Well, the takeout succeeded, but they miss their shooter stone.
Now Walter has an option here. I mean, they could run their own red one back onto the yellow. Looks like they're going to try to tap it over behind the yellow guard. I was looking at that. Mark wants to run it back.
Yep.
Ooh, there's that old school delivery again. Wants a little bit extra weight. It's got to fall a little bit.
Whoa! My God!
Slides by. That one was so close there.
As a player, you can actually feel those stones flying by. You can.
That's the risk when you play those really hard ones. It doesn't take much for it to be off. It doesn't. If it's off just a little bit, it's going to It's gonna miss. There's no hope for it to fall.
Yeah, but if it just falls 1 centimeter, it will change the situation. But that was 2 times in a row, super close.
Yeah. Well, we need to sweep this one to get it over the hog. Here it does.
It's over the hawk. It doesn't over curls. Maybe a little bit.
Little bit, but
Yeah,
it's
but you
still
can't
gonna
do-
you
yeah, you
can't do
can't run it
anything with
back,
it.
no.
No, that's gonna be it's a well placed stone.
Good stone. All right. Walt wants to draw behind it. It's always difficult if you have to do a very hard takeout and then do a perfect draw with your
Right
your
after,
stone.
yeah, it's very difficult to get the speed right.
Don't forget to rub off the dirt. I think he's also one of the few players that plays with an old style broom as well, with an actual brush.
Yep, the old school slider. I can't use those as a sweep anymore, but they use them for sliding. This one's coming up just a little bit light. Could be useful for them though. It's gonna block access to the center. Let me see if Viry's gonna try to open it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Want this one to fall so the shooter slides a little bit.
This is perfectly executed. This is
Very-
exactly what I wanted. Perfect
very
takeouts,
nice.
rolls in between, and lines up with all of the other stones.
Look at my buttons.
Close to perfection, this one.
Yeah, it's really hard to argue with that. That's precisely what they wanted.
And he says, well, I was wobbling on the slide, but well, in the end, if the result's there, who cares? Alright. I think you can feel the pressure grow on Brewer's Ducks right now. Starting off with a 3-0, winning the first 2 wins. And getting behind.
And Viry is settling in and starting to hit some good shots, so...
Rhea's getting warmed up here.
Oh. That one is light and over curls, kind of leaves the opening there.
Looks good. Stefan coming into help. Well, no, it's light if they want to draw behind it, but it closes the gap as well.
Yeah, not a bad stone. Maybe not the stone they wanted, but it's still a decent result. Closes that off, gonna make it hard, so Walter's gonna have to come out from the wall side. Can still get back to the red there.
Yep. Doesn't make things easier for Brewer's Ducks, and in
No.
that regards, it's a good stone.
That is correct, and that's really right now what Viry is trying to do without the hammer. You want to make it difficult for the hammer team to score. They're sweeping this one, but is it too heavy?
Crossing a T line.
Just behind the T line.
It is short though, but it's not really in a position where you want to build your game and your tactics
Yep.
on top of that stone. It's pretty straightforward takeouts and the hit and roll. And even if they do hit and roll, then they have a perfect stone, maybe on the dolly behind 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guards.
Yep.
So
Well, they can't get on the button with this stone with a hit and roll. They can draw into the red, but they could promote one of those guards, which would be an ideal thing. But I think they're just going to try to get rid of this red one in the house.
yeah, hit and roll is a good one. Hey, good morning, Julien.
Yes, Viry is playing very well.
Yeah,
especially after yesterday. So they are. You are right to say that.
Well,
glad to have a supporter there.
Yeah, now
You jinxed them,
you
though.
jinxed it.
A little bit wide, a little bit of an opening.
This one's on you, Julien. You jinxed this one.
A little wide there, a little opening for Brewer's Ducks here. Walter can come in with the draw.
They got away there, the Brewers Ducks. Now they can use it. Are they going to use it to do a hit and roll themselves, or are they going to guard that stone? Or maybe having that as a plan A and plan B situation.
I think they want to. I think the plan B would be to protect it. I think they want to draw this one in and get it into a better scoring position. Because I don't think they want to just score one. They'd like to score two. So if they can put this one in behind all the guards, then it would force Viry probably to just take that one out and give Walter an opportunity to draw for two. But, you know, Walter needs to get this one in. Might be a little bit
wide.
Wide, yeah. Is it gonna fall?
Definitely wide.
No. They were fortunate they didn't tap theirs too far. It does not lie second shot though, so little mistake there from Walter.
Yep.
Didn't get the line right. I think the weight was okay, and maybe a little bit on the heavier side, but it wouldn't have been so bad if it was more inside. And now Viry actually has an opportunity here to double both of those away. And it very likely, if they hit this, very likely the shooter will roll underneath.
Yeah. And if they double it, then Brewers Ducks can only score one on their hammer end, and that's always a good result. Just putting your opponent in a position where they can't score on their hammer ends.
Here we go, Stefan's last stone of the end. See if he can get this shot.
Going for a double takeout.
Oh, might be inside. It's got to squeeze past that guard. Does
Step
not.
the guards.
Ooh, no.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because now red is sitting two, and they can put an extra one.
Red is sitting one.
Is it? Oh yeah. They're still.
Yes.
Yeah. Correct.
But this does give.
Well, they can take a second stone
They can
now.
draw for two. Yep. And they have backing. If they hit that outside stone and it rolls back to the middle, then that will be good.
So this becomes not the hardest stone to throw, and take the 2 points and wrap that present. A draw or two, so no need to think about that longer than needed. Just put it in the house. Put it on the scoreboard. And
We gotta make sure it has the weight though. It needs to get all the way into the whites, all the way into the 8-foot circle.
you have the backing. Just that.
But the sweepers jumped on it early, so they might think this is a little bit light. It's a little bit outside. It needs to fall some.
It is light, and this previous stone at the last end was also a bit too light. So is it going to get it in the house?
No,
it
it gets in the house, but not into the white. It is a little bit outside. I think more inside. It's a good stone, but
yeah, but you don't want to leave, let's say, an extra stone.
no,
like that.
you don't want to. You don't want to leave points out on the ice. Sucks. 100% do not want to leave these stones out on the extra points out on the ice like that.
Because those stones can be important. It's a very matched game. 4-4.
Why does this keep doing this? I'm not trying to do that. All right, fine. It doesn't want to work.
What?
Oh,
You
trying to.
were
put
not
the-
talking to me?
I'm just kind of talking to myself.
Okay.
Yeah. I do that from time to time.
Yeah, I noticed. All right, opening up with a center guard here.
So heading into the 6th end, we are all tied up at 4. Like we said, we're getting some exciting curlings and back and forth.
Yeah, true.
This one is going to be a little on the light side, and it is just going to over curl off the center line. Thank you.
But it's still a kind of useful center guard.
Mm-hmm.
If there wasn't a tick rule, we wouldn't have made that comment like, "Oh, it's not touching the center line."
No.
But
Oh, I only make make
Yeah.
that comment for the tick rule.
true.
A little bit outside. There it goes. That just fell a lot. That took a huge turn. That was looking to be pretty good, and then it just, when it started to fall, that just seemed to just jump to the side. Falls up against the red center guard, and this thing's kind of open. Now that's where the over curl on that red stone, if it was on the center
True.
line, that would have taken taken that stone out of play.
A couple of centimeters makes all the difference.
This one, they left it maybe a little long. Is that going to get around the guard? There it goes.
Nice around the guard.
Nice
Now
stuff.
it's all about the weight, and it's falling just behind the T line in the white.
Nice stone there.
It's a good stone. Yeah.
And I think it's just far enough behind the T line that if they freeze up against it, then Ducks can use that for something. So ooh, they're actually calling for the takeout here. If the weight is correct. Trying to get this one to curl over. There it goes.
Yep. And it will stay in the house, so that's a good takeout. Just sitting on
Nice
the edge of the
stone there.
house. This is actually for a lead player a possible shot of the match.
All right.
I mean,
I'll
just
click my button.
some credits for lead players. If we had comments like, how do lead players get to be a candidate for shot of the match if they have to play just guards which could seem boring for a YouTube short.
I already had Celine written down for a draw,
Yeah.
but... Alright, here comes Mark. I'm gonna try to draw this one around behind that center guard. Seems a bit light though. There it goes, starts to curl, get back on the sweep. It's not gonna fall enough to get behind that center guard though. Will it get to the house? No, just short of the house. Alright, Laurent asked to hit and roll this one. So take out this red and then try to roll the shooter over in front of their yellow back in the house. Oh, overswept it. It's gonna carry a little too far, but a good attempt. Yeah, Stefan, that's a skip fault there with the broom. Overswept it. That was a nice stone from Laurent.
Now, Mark setting up for a draw behind the yellow guard.
This one to get into the house. Curl over a little bit. Is shot, but it lies out in the open. This is going to allow Viry to hit and roll again. Stefan kind of put his palm down just to kind of say, not so hard this time.
Slightly less.
Oh, this one's going to stay a bit outside. It should get rid of the red. Make sure it doesn't jam, but they do lose the shooter. Oh, it does get that yellow in the back of the house there. Thought that might have missed, but yeah, Stefan was standing in the way, so I didn't see the stone until I saw it click off something. I thought it was his own foot, but...
Yeah, I had the same impression, like he tapped the stone just to kind of clear it out of the house, but there was another stone there. Forgot about that one. Alright, another attempt for a draw shot here. Players at the Olympics and the Euros and the Worlds make it look so easy to put a stone on a dolly, but if you haven't tried curling, then you might underestimate the effort it takes to get it there.
There's a lot more to it. Or it's a lot more difficult than it looks.
Yeah, true.
But they train for hours and hours, weeks and weeks, years and years to be able to make it look so easy. Alright, well, that one didn't get around. It kind of kissed that yellow guard and then stays on the center line. Stefan asking Jeremy which side he wants to draw from.
They're tired of drawing on the unlucky side.
Let's come around from the wall side. Let's give that one a try. I'll try to get this one deep. Is it going to get into the house? Yeah, it's about halfway into the 8-foot. Well, the 8-foot, 12-foot line, but yeah. Still a little bit open. If they can get this one just to the center line side of the nose, it can roll over nicely. Team Viry can be a noisy over on sheet A. Is this one gonna fall enough? It catches it. There it goes. Doesn't get the rollover like they wanted, but
Empty house so far.
yep. Jan did make it all the way to the hog line on his slide. Let's sweep this one to make sure it gets over past the guards. And make sure it gets into the house. Celine giving up the sweep as soon as Stefan comes out there. Oh, that's a nice stone. That's going to get just enough under the guards to make it difficult to get at.
Yep.
Not too deep in the house. Very good stone there from Jeremy. So now Walter needing to decide what is he going to do.
Yeah. Yeah, because suddenly Viry is playing pretty good with a stone in the house, nicely in front of the T line, having the guard protecting it. So you can do a better draw, but that was the unlucky side. We had some failed attempts drawing on that side so far.
Yep, but that's what they're forced to do. They're going to be coming back out and trying to come around that side. You know, the button is still there to take, so... But there's also that risk that it doesn't curl enough and it stays out in the open and gives Viry a chance to hit and roll, so...
Yeah. Yeah, and if you don't have the weight, it's a bit too short, and you have a guard and you don't want a guard, that blocks the road to the button. So definitely cannot be short, this one.
Yeah, and Viry with the hammer, they're in a strong position, so really important stone from Walter here. Sweeping this hard to make sure it doesn't suddenly fall over into the guards. It's not drawing much at all. There it goes. Is that going to be a bit too...
Looks
oh,
deep.
that's really nice. Deep. It's gonna deep though. It's gonna curl.
It's behind the T line, so it could. No, it's on the button.
On the button. Nice stone from
Very
Walter.
nice
I'm gonna write that one down.
Yep. That's a very good stone.
That one didn't look like it was gonna fall enough, and then suddenly at the end, just kind of okay, here we go.
So yeah, this really puts pressure on Viry, because now they both have a pair, a guard and a stone in the house. But obviously, Brewer's Ducks, they have the powerful stone there sitting on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's going to be difficult to draw. Maybe they could get to it with the back line to move it just a little bit, but it's and looks like that might be what they're trying or looking at here with the broom. They can't really afford for it to be too heavy here, so.
And that's the difficult thing. It needs not enough weight, so it draws to the button, because you need to get around the guard, but it needs some weight if you want to tap the red one.
Yeah, and the way I see it from here in the house, it's like the one on the button it's actually completely covered by the guard up top. So they have to come around. They are looking at now discussing the option of opening it up.
Yeah, they still have 2 stones, so
yeah,
maybe using that 7th stone to open it up. And
slight off nose could still potentially do a run back and a double as well. So if they can be on that yellow side of that the nose on the red, then this could be a real interesting double here.
Did Dirk stop taking the thinking time?
He left.
Oh, he left. The thinking clock ran out of time.
He was just testing it out, so.
Yeah.
Well, that's also one of the things they were looking at, was opening it up. Not a bad result for them. Obviously not their option A, but they did talk about, like, hey, even just opening it up kind of leaves them some gives them some more to work with on their stone.
So now the shooter stone of the Brewers is out in the open. It's a sitting duck. Yeah. And they need to protect it.
I think I just sprained my eyes from how hard I rolled them on that one. But yes, it is sitting out in the open. That is actually the correct use of the expression.
It was a good pun. It is a perfect use of the expression. It's really telling the story with how it sits. So I don't know why you rolled your eyes. It tapped so many boxes. I think it was a very clever remark there.
Yes, it was.
You could kind of feel like the tension and concentration with the stone.
There it goes.
No, that was not.
Is it going to fall too much, though? Ooh.
This is a good stone.
It's a good stone.
Yeah, now they force Brewers to take one.
Force Viry to take one.
Or Viry, yeah.
And if for some reason either they miss the shot or the shooter doesn't stick,
Yeah.
Ducks have that red one at the top of the house in the 12-foot there, so definitely not a completely lost end for the Ducks there.
Yeah. Laurent cleaning the sliding area. Make sure dirt is not in the way. Here it comes. Final stone of the sixth end, and this is an important one.
This looks like it's going to be good. I think this is going to just fall nicely, nose hit. Take the one.
Oh, wow. I mean, this is also a possible shot of the match because it looks so easy, but if it rolls to the sides and it rolls into the blue, you could even lose the end anyway. So that's one for yellow.
Yep. Button is clicked. I've written in my diary.
Dear diary. I have clicked the button.
All right, so heading into the seventh end, Viry takes the lead 5-4 over the Brewers Ducks. We are seeing tight action going back and forth.
I feel like this is really a game where as you get closer to the final end, you can see the teams kind of getting tense, getting concentrated, getting focused, because I feel none of the teams is getting a comfortable lead, and it's going to come down to the last stone, and every stone is going to count here. There is so little room for mistakes.
Exactly. I missed where Stefan put his broom. Judging from the weight, it might be in the house.
I think he called for center guards. It'll go into the house.
That's gonna get all the way to the
unless you want it in the
past
house.
the T-line. Yeah. If he did, he wouldn't have wanted it that deep.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely would have wanted it in the 12-foot. Now this is going to come up a little bit short of where they wanted it. They wanted to freeze up against that yellow, but goes into the house. I think Viry might be trying to draw in behind that red.
Yeah, he's Stefan was thinking, okay, what's the best option here?
Just inside the center, maybe a little bit behind the red one there. Front of the T line. Jeremy is sweeping it early. Now Laurent comes on to help out. This one's gonna curl just a little bit too much and fall up against the red. Ooh, it's gonna be close for shot there. I think red is just shots.
Ooh, I avoided the earthquake there.
I'm gonna take a look at the overhead here. If Walter gets out of the way. It's close. It's really close to see who is shot there.
Yeah, it's hard to tell indeed.
Walter looking to split the house here, possibly get it behind that center guard. Or that stone in the center. Wanting it to fall, but appears to be a bit heavy and is gonna slide out the back. Going for the inside out hit and roll back to the middle. Ooh, that turned immediately off his hand. That seemed to go dart outside very quickly. Oh, unfortunately catches the top.
Yeah. Well, now the house is empty except for those two yellow stones. But indeed, it's probably not what I wanted.
No, they were looking to take the red one out, maybe roll the shooter back underneath into the middle. Unfortunately, they did get the, well, not unfortunately, they did get the red out, but unfortunately they also took their yellow out as well. They're calling for the sweep right away. Off, then on, then off again.
Yeah, if you're a sweeper, you have to kind of go all in, stop, stop.
Yep. Alright, so got rid of the yellow. They maybe shot, not sure, but I don't think it's gonna matter. They're gonna go right after this one. I think they're gonna want their own hit and roll as well. This one seems to be drifting outside. Yeah,
Takes it out.
does catch the red, but loses shooter. Correct. See, Laurent not particularly happy with the result of that shot. Seemed to be just a little bit outside on the release. Nose hit and sits there biting the top part of the house. Ron just wants to get rid of, or sorry, Stefan just wants to get rid of this one.
This will take out that center guard.
Yep, and will the shooter stay in the house?
It
Oh,
does.
it does. Very nice shot there.
Very nice one. Very nice one. Yeah, it's takeout after takeout here.
Ooh, Walter shouting loud and early for that one. Need to make sure this one gets it. Does it?
It does.
Just catches it enough. Good sweeping there to hold that line. Saw the wry smile from Walter. And Jan giving some acknowledgement to his sweepers there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was important to sweep that one. So yeah, even the blank end, or a blank end is not that good, but if we can avoid Brewers from scoring a lot of points on their hammer ends, they will be happy.
Well, a blank end would be the Ducks' advantage here.
Yeah, true, because then they have, let's say, the end and the hammer in the last end.
Yeah, and a force of 1 is to Viry's advantage.
Yeah, so Viry is definitely playing for Brewers to take just 1 point and then going into the last end with a 5-5 tie and then try to win their last hammer ends. And they don't have to score points.
Ooh, it was a bit outside on the release from my angle here, looking into the through the window. Hopefully that's gonna fall the way they need that to. Is that gonna you have enough juice to get to the house? There it goes.
It's in the house.
Just gets in there.
Touches the blue. Yeah, that was another stone for the sweepers. That's where you as a sweeper can feel like you deserve some credit for getting it into the house, right?
Yep. That is definitely. I was just about to say that it's. Jan needed a bit of help from the sweepers, but that's what they're there for. So. Yeah. We're gonna see a takeout here of the red one.
Yeah.
No, red one's gone. Shooter goes outside. I think they would have. Well, I think with that speed, I don't think they were really trying to hold the shooter into the house, find a way to get the shooter into the house at all. Walter can put a good one here behind that yellow guard. That'll give him an opportunity to score 2. You have to sort of wonder what does Walter want to do here? I don't think he wants 1. So
No, they have to look for options to score 2 here. This is the right means to play. So they have to draw this one behind the guard and then see if they could use their final stone to take that second point. But in order to make that happen, this is going to be an important draw shot.
Yep.
Luckily,
Ooh, sweeping it hard. Want to make sure this one gets there.
drawing is supposed to be Walter's specialty. They left a couple of stones short in the previous ends.
Yeah, the sweepers are working this one hard. Is it going to get down to the house? And it does. Sweepers get that one in there. Another good sweeper stone there.
Yep.
Now here, Viry needs their shooter to stay in the house, because I think if the house is open, what do you do if you're Walter? I think you just throw it away.
Yeah.
You would just have to take the blank, keep the hammer going into the last down by one.
Yeah, keep it in the house. That just narrows down the scoring area for Brewers.
And also would force them to try to score.
Yeah.
So even a nose hit here, shooter sticks. Ooh, this one's gonna fall a little bit. Is it going to go? Falls too much.
Not too much.
And is going to slide out of the house. Okay. So here's the big decision from Walter. I think I heard him say just go on the liga. They're just gonna lay it in the house.
Yeah, that's basically the because they're a point behind, right? You could say, well, I'm gonna throw it and then take the hammer, but then they still have to take 2 points. And I mean, maybe they feel more comfortable with trying to go for a steal of one than scoring 2 on a hammer. And
That's true, maybe. You've got to play to your strengths and what you feel comfortable with, so. Sweepers need to make sure this one gets there. That's their job. Anywhere in the house. Just want to make sure it's not too deep, but this one's going to get there.
it's in the house. So that's 1 for the Ducks.
All the way to the T line. So, good stone from Walter. Decided to take that one. Good end from Viry to force the one there.
Yeah.
And so now Viry is going to have the hammer going into this last end where we are tied 5-5.
This is
really
such a
good
tense
curling.
game here.
It's coming down to. It's going to come down to the last end. You know, hopefully comes down to the last stone. We're going to see.
And you can see it on the faces of the people. They're all focused. They're concentrated. They're still kind of in that concentration mode. And this is what makes curling sometimes a very difficult sport, because they have been on the ice from, I think, 10 o'clock.
We've been live, so it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. So that means they've been on the ice for about 10 minutes before that. So almost 2.5 hours between warm-ups and getting things going. So
Yeah, and after 2.5 hours, now it's money time, and this is, I think, where experienced teams can make a difference. Still.
stays out of the house, over curls just a little bit. We see Stefan here tapping on the side of the house, so he wants to split the house. We're gonna see Celine just bring it right into there. Wants it somewhere just in front of the T line, but way out to the side. Leaping it down there. They want to try to hold this straight so it doesn't over curl, end it about on the side of the house, but that is going to be a very nice stone, exactly where Stefan wanted it.
Yeah, perfect lead stone there. And Salina already had a couple of very good lead stones. I think we noted down 2 already for shot of the match, and then we're forgetting about all of the other good stones. So
I clicked my clicker for that one because I really like the idea of rewarding those types of shots. Is this one gonna be able to get behind that red? It's just not going to curl enough. Ooh, interesting call here from Stefan. He asked for a hit and roll to go all the way out there, but then that could set up a double. I think he's...
Or he wants just some red stones out, so he's looking for how can I get a good stone in the house and also take out a red one.
Trying to hold this one. A slight overcurl wouldn't be bad because then it could trickle behind the red.
Yeah, even rolling behind that red guard is a good one.
Yeah. Over there, splitting the house, a little bit of protection.
Very good stone.
I'd say that's a great stone there.
Two extremely good stones in a row there for Celine. Hats off. She's done. That were her last 2 stones of the game. She delivered them perfectly. So
very nice stone. Puts it in a really strong position. Viry looking really good in this last end.
yeah, absolutely true.
Yeah, sweeping this one down to the T line.
This one is right on
Right there on the pin. It is exposed, but I don't think Viry is going to do much with it.
Do they want to take out the guards and then also roll to the side and use that as a possible guard? That's a very difficult stone if you want to have a good guard for. And since they don't have hammer, maybe they want to keep some guards.
Viry does have hammer.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, they have hammer. So then they don't need guards.
I think it's to their advantage to leave the guard there. It's slightly overlapped with the yellow behind it. So I think the best bet is just to get this one out of there. If it can overcurl and just trickle off to the side there, get a little bit behind those guards. Yeah, that's not bad. It's still reachable, but it brings that red one into play, that red guard into play.
Do I need to move it? Do I need to move the yellow? Walter, do I need to move the yellow? Do I need to get the first shot?
Okay. Mark asking if he needs to move that or freeze against it, and they want him to move it just a little bit, so... Well, instead of drawing to the T-line, they're probably going to ask for back of the 4-foot, maybe back of the 8-foot. Nothing too hard. Don't need to move it too far. Might be a little bit outside. Is that going to fall enough to get over? Seems to be staying out there.
Moves behind the T line. That's a scary stone. If you want to freeze up against it, then that could be a very scary stone right now for the Brewers.
Huh. Interesting call here from Viry. Clearing out the guard.
Yeah, you wanted to do that with the previous stone, and
I guess they don't care too much about that stone in the middle because they have the split house, but
yeah,
this one's going to fall a little too much. Ooh, okay.
that's a good takeout.
Yeah, clears out the stone, clears out the guard.
Clears out the shooter.
But it's curious for me why they would do that, because the Ducks only need one. Both teams only need one to win, and you're giving them a chance to
protect the shot stone.
Yeah.
Well, they have the 2 stones to still tap it out.
Yeah. Short and on the center line would be good, but what they're asking for here is like a freeze up against that yellow, which would overlap and make it difficult to get that red, that scoring stone away. Sliding looked to be a little bit outside. Maybe he corrected with the release. Starting to come back into the middle. It's going to be a bit light though. Is that going to over curl? That is going to over curl.
Yep. Now it will serve as a guard for that yellow stone, so that's definitely not what they were looking for.
Yeah. You saw Mark sweeping it just to try to get that little bit extra distance to the side so it's not as useful for Viry.
Yeah, you're not happy with the way this stone turned out to be.
Yeah.
This could be important because now what are the guys from Viry gonna do? Are they looking to take out the red one? So they kind of take the dangerous stone out of play.
Yeah, it seems that's why it's making that last stone from Viry curious that they decided to take out that guard instead of just playing the center stone away. But now they're going to play the center stone away.
And like, if they just take out redstone, what's the worst that could happen for them afterwards?
Well, Ducks could come back and take their yellows out.
Yeah.
Oh, this was going to curl too much, so this is... But it does get both of them, so it does get the red, loses their yellow, but...
Well, the good thing is that Yellowstone is gone, so the Ducks can't freeze up against it. It's just a very open house, which is hard. If you're the Ducks and you look for options to steal, it's hard to steal in an open house.
That's true. And actually, Viry has hammer, so it doesn't really... Yeah, they don't care what's there as long if they have an open draw.
Yeah.
That's what they want. They want to have an open shot at the house.
Yep.
Need this one to get all the way over behind those guards, and it needs to get into the... fully into the white. And I can't tell.
It's very hard to see.
It is so close. Maybe red? I don't know. I would need to measure that. Like from this angle, I can't tell.
It's extremely hard to see. Anyway, we're going for a very hard takeout here.
Ooh. Unfortunate mistake there. Takes out their own stone and leaves a guard over that that red. What do the ducks do here? See some discussion going on what they should do.
Yeah, it's not easy here. I mean,
honestly, I like the decision of getting rid of that yellow and leaving the house split. It would leave 3 stones for the ducks in there and Viry with only 2 stones to choose to do something. Now, Viry likely would want to draw to the middle at some point.
this is one of those situations where you could say, well, if I was the opponent, what would I do? And then can I counterplay that decision?
Yeah. So if I'm the ducks and you take that yellow one out of the house and you sit over there, Viry is likely to try to draw in behind those guards. I can't read Mark's lips from here.
Yeah, I was trying to get what they were doing. Like, we can't really tap into that discussion, but it feels like they are very discreet about their strategy. They don't want to have Viry overhearing their conversation.
Correct. See, first we're going to start off with the Pepsi, and then we're going to go to the Carlsberg Zeros. Once we're done with the Zeros, then we're going to hit the Cornets at the top.
Yeah. But I'm betting Stefan is also a bit nervous about this stone.
Yeah, there's a lot riding on this one. It's going to give him options. If they miss this, then Viry has their own option to put something in place.
4 more stones, 4 last stones of this game, and they are so close. I really can't tell who's gonna win.
It's gotta be good. Does it get it? It does. Just catches it, gets it out of there. Shooter rolls out, but still not a terrible play for them.
Not sure if Walter liked this, so
Well, he definitely wanted it to stay in the house. They wanted the shooter they wanted a nose hit there, leave it split like that. Even a little bit of a roll inside, but it does take away a possible scoring stone from Viry. Now, granted, they only need 1, but so Jeremy, look at that red one and say possible hit and roll underneath there.
yeah.
I think Stefan is worried that if they try to draw and it's short, that it could leave an overlapped guard in front of the red. I think an ideal situation would be as if it draws... If they could draw it underneath that red, leave it some guard, but that would still leave the button open, but they could come back after it.
Important here. There's no clock, so teams can take all the time.
And then this one, they need it. Yep. Bonjour, Ram. Good to see another Viry supporter
Bonjour,
here.
Yeah.
Right down to our final stones, and it's been exciting the whole day. This whole match has been really exciting.
Yeah, and now it's very, very close. Very matched. Very evenly matched.
We've got the tension here.
So they made a decision. They have made a decision, and they are going to take out.
I think what they want to do is they want to run the yellow back.
Run the back, yeah.
Get the red out, but then have the yellows sit in the house. I think that's going to be a key, would be a huge thing for them. Is if this stays in the house, the shooter stays in the house, would be very, or not the shooter, the run back. Jeremy is practically sitting on the stone behind him, being very
From
careful.
this angle, it was. Okay, are you ready, John?
I am ready. I can barely contain myself, and we still have 2 more stones after this.
Stefan's not ready
He's
yet.
milking it. Come on!
Now it's for real. Immediate sweeping, immediate sweeping.
Oh, look at that! It just turned. Ooh. Wow, I thought that had the pace. That suddenly just turned. I thought it was a little bit inside off the release, but that just kept going. Wow.
Oh man, this is really not what he wanted. That's just kind of throwing that stone away.
Wow.
And now are Brewer's Ducks going to steal here? Because they have 2 stones in the house. Doesn't matter if they steal 1 or 2 or 3, but
Yep.
the reality of things is Viry has no stone in the house and they only have 1 stone more to play. So that stone has to be the shot stone. That's where they need to seek for a draw. So if you turn around that logic, then if you're Brewer's Ducks, you want to avoid Viry throwing a good draw stone here. So how can you block the road to the center as much as possible? Where do you want to have that stone positioned? So
you want to have it just to the left of the center line, and they want it to be no deeper than they want it to be at the top of the house. They want to block this off because they don't want to give Viry the opportunity to do a takeout, have it sit and be better than that other stone. So they really want to leave this one right in the top of the house, no better than just biting the white at best. It needs to be light. Even in front of the house is not a bad place to put it.
okay. Final stone for Brewers. Final stone for Walter. They have the upper hand here, and this could be a good guard.
Gotta be careful they're not sweeping it too deep. It's just not falling over. There it starts to go, but are they going to sweep it
If
too
it's
deep?
too deep, it's going to be backing and it's going to be an easy takeout for 1 point. And this is exactly what they wanted to avoid here. And immediate call for a takeout here. No need to think about this one. Viry is putting the broom. Stefan is heading over to the ice and he has one job. It comes down to this. Over 2.5 hours of curling just comes down to making a very good
down to the final
takeout.
stone.
Yeah. But important takeout. But if it rolls and it rolls outside of the white, there's still an option for Brewers to take a point here.
Yep.
Not sure if I can deal with the tension.
and the tricky part about this, it seems so open, but it's like, if you're too hard or too soft, then you could miss.
And you missed your previous takeout. Is that something that plays? We'll see.
They're sweeping on it. Now they're getting off. This one looks to be pretty good, but it has to hold.
Has to hold. There's going to be a nose hit. Is it going to roll? That's the difficult question. It's going to roll.
Oh,
Brewers Ducks take a point and they won. They take maybe 2 points.
Wow, it's one
Ducks win. Yeah, I don't know if it's 1 or 2, but Brewers Ducks win this game.
I think it comes down to it's 1, but still, wow, that came down to the last stone, and that was centimeters, just a little bit outside. Oh wow, what a match! What a match! That was incredible, going both ways. You know, I was worried about Brewers Ducks taking, opting for the 1 in the 7th end to give up the hammer, but it paid off for them. Incredible match by both teams. Viry has nothing to.
This is the long slide for the skip. Update the score in an end.
Well, will he update the score or will he just get his shoe? His gripper.
I don't know.
Something tells me he might just be getting the gripper. Let's see.
Gripper confirmed. A score not confirmed. We still don't know if it's 1 or 2.
It was 1. I could see it was 1.
He's going to update
and
the
he
score.
is going to update the score.
Thank you
and
very
it is
much.
1.
So 1 Brewers, and what a game! What a game!
Merci,
what an
Stefan.
end!
Wow, what a game! What an incredible back and forth battle this whole day. Just an incredible match, down to the last stone. We love that here. That's the types of matches we want to see. Brings the excitement and the tension all the way through to the end. You know, 2.5 hours of broadcasting to come down to that last little bit. Just an amazing match played by both teams. Really back and forth. We saw some. Oops, we see too much glare in my glasses. There we go. Now you can see me. We saw some really good stones. We saw a few mistakes, you know, and it came down to centimeters at the end. I mean, that was literally
it came down to how far will it roll.
Yeah.
That was basically, I mean, so many stones. I think 128 stones, or how many stones do you play in an 8-ender? You do the math, but anyway, it all came down to triangulate the way it would roll. That's the kind of story of the game, but still. All of the people that decided to sleep in on the Sunday morning, well, you were wrong. You probably missed the best game of this weekend, unless we have an even better game. We still have
one more. We have one more. Viry's going to come back. They're going to try to bounce back against our other Ducks team, the Grey Ducks.
And is this Dutch deja vu going to be, let's say, oh no, the Ducks, they're going to be...
Oh no, le canard.
Ouais. Encore les canards. No, they're going to make foie gras out of the Grey Ducks. That's going to be their battle plan for this afternoon. But yeah, this game, I mean, can't
Doesn't
believe
foie
my
gras
eyes.
come from geese?
Oh, that's geese, yeah. Geese, goose, ducks.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, all the same thing. All the same.
Oh boy. Well, that was an exciting morning. We've got some more coming up for you in about an hour's time.
Yeah, so for the people from Viry watching, you can still stay tuned. We have the second Viry game going to in the afternoon. We had Julian and Ram tapping into the stream. So later this afternoon, we have, I think at 2:15, Viry against Grey Ducks.
Yeah, another good matchup. We saw Grey Ducks play yesterday, and they played really strong against Luxembourg. And I think what we saw this morning, we saw Viry play a really strong match. It just unfortunately didn't work out for them, but I think we're going to see another good match this afternoon. Grey Ducks sitting just 2 points behind Viry at the top of the table, so this could see...
this could be a tie for this. This is basically the game for who takes the first position after this weekend.
Yep.
And Viry, they're sitting at 4. They could go to 6. They are not going to take the 8 point lead that we predicted in the beginning of the morning. And Brewer's Ducks, they were second. They ended second last season. They were kind of the surprise, the revelation of the A division, and they just confirmed their skill level, and they won against Viry.
Very good, very experienced teams. So we're really looking forward to this afternoon. It's going to be really exciting curling, we hope. Really exciting. It's going to be hard to follow up this morning's match, but we'll see what these teams can do. So that is it for us today, for this morning. We still have some more. We're going to take a little bit of a break. About an hour, we'll be back, a little more than an hour. Don't forget to do the socials thing. Click like, subscribe, and follow. See us on all of the social medias down here in the middle. And watch out for the shots of the match. I've got a nice list here for just this morning. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe we can see it. There we go. Lots of stuff written down. So we'll be seeing the shots of the match coming out this week. And lots more curling next week as well. So we'll keep you informed on that this afternoon. And until then, I'm John.
I know a good goodbye gesture for now.
Oh.
And so for the people rewatching, if you missed this last and you were like, oh my God, how could I miss? I wasn't there live. Indeed. Don't forget to subscribe, follow our channel, follow our social media, and for a nice goodbye gesture and to be all in line with the Ducks team and the Dutch déjà vu, here's my duck face. That's for all the TikTokers out there. Oh my God. All right, bye then.
On that, we're going to leave. Thank you very much.
We're going to leave.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.